Hi, I'm Steve Adubato, and it is my honor and pleasure to introduce for the first time with us, it will not be the last. She is Rosie Grant, Executive Director of a compelling, important organization called the Paterson Education Fund. Ms. Grant, how are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. Thank you for having me here this morning.
Great to have you. By the way, for those who don't know the Paterson Education Fund, what is it and why does it matter now more than ever as we enter the summer of 2021?
Our mission is to stimulate community action for change so that Paterson Public Schools ensure that all children are educated to high standards. It's a powerful mission and it's a lot of work. We do it by engaging the community and by engaging with the district and the schools. So we try to get education on everybody's agenda as we do our work.
Ms. Grant, let me ask you this. And the research getting ready for this, we talked to our friends at the Terrell Fund about this. A big focus of yours is getting children 0 to 3 ready for kindergarten. So many children, particularly in urban areas, underserved communities, their vocabulary is not where it needs to be. They are way behind. And you have an initiative called Talk, Read, Sing. What is that and how does that connect to helping our youngest children get prepared for kindergarten and life?
Sure. We realize that we have to start early if we want to get them ready by the end of 12th grade, and particularly if we want to get them reading on grade level by the end of the 3rd grade so that they can then read to learn. Talk, Read, Sing is an initiative of the Clinton Foundation, and we found out about it through our partners at the Grade Level Reading Campaign. And it's an initiative to bring resources, tools, and tips to parents of the very young children, 0 to 3, so that they're talking more with their kids, they're singing with their kids, and they're reading with their kids. And these interactions in any language help with brain development and language acquisition. So we were very fortunate to be able to launch that program as we went into the pandemic shutdown last year, because it gave parents at home with their kids these tools to help them with this development.
Ms. Grant, what was the response to the program? Meaning, what kind of people, how many people took to it and said, hey, we're going to be involved, we're going to do this?
The response was surprising in a wonderful way. We wanted to train 20 people in the community as trusted messengers to bring the messages and the tote bags and tips to the parents. We advertised to our partners, and we ended up training 72 people as trusted messengers. And these 72 people brought the tote bags and tools and so on to the parents, to just about 700 parents now. And we're in a second round, we keep going. We started posting tips on our website, our Facebook page, about how to use these tools and how to remain engaged. And our usage, or hit viewership, I guess, went up from about an average of 400 to 14,000. So it told us that the parents were welcoming these tips and tools and were hopefully practicing them at home, but they're certainly looking for them.
Ms. Grant, you know that we're involved in an initiative. It's 3 years, I believe now, potentially going into the 4th. It's called Reimagined childcare. It's about creating greater public awareness around the need for quality, affordable, accessible childcare. The work that your organization is doing as it relates to reimagining childcare and having it be what it needs to be in these very difficult times.
Childcare is more than babysitting, right? Whether you're the parent or you're in a daycare center or some other situation, we want people in childcare to engage with the kids. You mentioned the vocabulary difference earlier as we start. We want our kids to have this vocabulary to be ready to learn when they go into preschool. So yes, we do need to reimagine childcare. It's important that it's about their well-being, yes, their physical well-being, but it's also important that we're doing these things to develop them and so that they're ready to learn.
Before I let you go, Ms. Grant, give some advice to parents right now. I mean, our daughter is 10, and I try to read to her, and she's like, Dad, are you serious? Like, I don't need you to read to me. But I remember doing it, and not enough when she was of the age you're talking about. Give some advice to parents who have children at that age as it relates to reading to them, talking to them, singing with them, particularly the reading and vocabulary literacy part.
Read to them all the time. My kids, I think about 13, they had had enough, but they're both readers. But always read to them, let them choose the books, let them talk about what they're hearing in the story, use their imagination, pull on their creativity. They have so much of it to give at that age. And then sing and talk about commonplace things with the little ones. When they're eating, let's talk about food. What is this? Oh my gosh, look, they have mango. You love mango. So it doesn't matter the content so much as the fact that you're having these conversations. If you're riding through, look for the colors of the cars. Let's talk about cars, let's talk about trees. So whatever the topic is, even as you're in the home and the little one can't respond, and maybe he or she will respond with smiles, but talk about whatever it is that you're doing so that they have that exposure to the words.
Awesome. I think the problem was I started reading excerpts from my book, Lessons in Leadership, and my daughter was like, Dad, are you serious? I'm 10. I don't need this. We need to be more creative. We should be reading don't read your own book. Listen, Rosie Grant, who is the Executive Director of the Paterson Education Fund, I cannot thank you enough. Part of our Reimagined Childcare Initiative. We wish you all the best, and this will not be the last time you join us. Thank you so much, Ms. Grant.
Thank you so much. Be
Same
well.
Here.
All right.
I'm Steve Adubato. That is Rosie Grant, and we'll be right back.
One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been a production of the Caucus Educational Corporation. Funding has been provided by PSC&G, the Turrell Fund, supporting Reimagined Childcare. PNC, Grow Up Great. New Jersey Sharing Network, the Healthcare Foundation of New Jersey, Summit Health, Horizon Blue Cross Blue Shield of New Jersey, United Airlines, and by the Russell Berry Foundation. Promotional support provided by NJ Biz and by New Jersey Family Magazine.
New Jersey's early educators and childcare providers are more than twice as likely to live below the poverty line versus the general workforce. Reimagined Childcare, formed by a coalition in New Jersey, is dedicated to improving accessibility, affordability, and quality of childcare and reimagining the way we support these essential providers. Learn more by visiting reimaginedchildcare.org.